Hey Neo fam, happy Thursday to you. It's Thursday, September 18th, 2025. We're about, well, a little more than an hour into the market open. And we'll talk about NIO stock price today, what I'm seeing and thinking. But I also want to offer a couple of thoughts. And I responded to comments from my most recent video. The one comment was, and I guess a reminder or a heads up for those who don't know, I'm long term. I am big picture long term with my view. So to me, what that means is if NIO stock goes to $5 or $15 in the short term, nothing really changes for me. And that's the advantage that I think I have over, let's say, Wall Street, where they're looking to make intra-year gains. They're a lot more of that trader mentality. And as such, I think it's really hard to trade even without the added challenges, which I'm just going to offer this as a response, because I know people have been asking or talking about this 775 level. So here's the reference to that. The question is, do you think there could be a rejection at the 775 level, trying to see what would be a good pullback point to load again? And then the question was, if I hear you right, you're saying hold till $9 levels. No, I'm not saying any of that. I'm just sharing my research along the way. And this is, I think, more important. The concept overview is this. I think an argument could be made for either side. It could reject at that 775 level, or it could run right through as it has the last couple of levels. And I'll pull that up and show you here in just a second what I'm talking about. With market makers who have short or put positions in NIO stock, and these folks have been fined for essentially manipulating stocks, it is incredibly hard to predict short-term stock price action for NIO. A note to the point above about that manipulation that could be going on is one of the market makers has been fined for mismarking orders long and short, meaning in the short term, we as retail investors might not even be seeing true price discovery. So imagine if you're trying to do TA on something and they're marking something short when it's long, you're not even seeing what's actually going on because they're keeping us from seeing true price discovery. And so that is just one reason I think it is so hard for someone to try predicting the shorter term stock price action for NIO. No one knows what NIO stock will do next, especially if a market maker that is holding a short position is able and willing to keep us from seeing true and accurate price discovery. So that's my thought. And it's way too important for me to not offer at this time, where I know, and I appreciate the fact that people are appreciating and enjoying my research and the shorter term, side of things, but also realize I've been tracking this stuff for several years. I know people were getting bored and tired of my videos for a while, talking about things like the FTDs, but those actually can end up, I think, helping propel NIO to the upside. So it's really hard to track what's happening in the short term. But here's your date and timestamp right now. As I'm recording this, it's almost 9:50 a.m. Central Time on Thursday, September 18th. And what we've got is over 25 million shares that have traded, and we've got NIO stock up from where it was the last couple critical levels that we saw. $7.21 was one, and we saw that run right through here with 2 days of back-to-back 100 million share trade volume on the daily side of things. And so that was one of my references as far as the last couple times. Here's the other. The previous year-to-date high for NIO was 533, and so the 521 to 533 level was what I was watching. We saw 4 back-to-back trade days with 100 million share volume, and we shot right through it. So that's what I'm saying when I say, hey, it could reject. It could also run right through. It's run right through the last couple or the last few times. And if we continue to see the elevated trade volume, that's where I think the advantage lies for the NIO longs. Because if we go back, this is the $7.21. It was a close, but the high on that day was $7.38. And right now we're trading above that. And this was back in October of 2024. That's why I started saying, okay, now the upside from here becomes even more compelling and interesting to me. But if you look over here on the right-hand side, the FTD data that we have only goes through August 28th. That's as far as we can see. So the last roughly 20 days, we have no idea what's going on. But what doesn't seem to change is when the big trade volume comes in, the price seems to go up, regardless of the elevated FTDs. And so that's the big thing that shifted. And I'll do the deeper dive video here in the next, hopefully, day or two, and get that out for you all. And I'll talk about some of the things, and we'll drill down a little bit more. But I wanted a quick hitter, shorter video to address a couple of these things and make sure people are realizing I'm not trying to offer any trading strategies. I'm just sharing my research and my thoughts along the way. So whatever you do with your money, I hope you win. Whether it's short-term, long-term trading, it's all good. We all have our own money. We're all trying to do our own thing. But anyway, let me get this thing up and out as soon as possible. Have a great day. See y'all again very soon.